But we now have a new variant. With most of the country already under extreme measures, it's clear that we need to do more together. That means the government is once again instructing you to stay at home.
You're joking. Not another one?
Oh, yes!
Right. So, week 2, another loan signing. Last week we had Sean. This week we got a new number 9.
We do. Oh, we better introduce him quickly.
Welcome to the club. It's Andrew Quick.
Hey!
Hello, thank you for having me. That was the weirdest.
Thank you for coming
I've
on.
ever received in my life. Yes. I love
Great
it.
to have you on, Quickie.
So
Thank
last
you, yeah.
week we had Liverpool. This week we got Everton.
A better side of
You should be over the moon.
Exactly.
So
Everton,
Sean did.
I was buzzing.
Sean did promise to make us famous, though. So you've got to promise us something now.
I promise to make you rich.
Oh, that's a
Right,
big
Sean.
Be famous.
Sean, you're going to another
Famous.
podcast now. We don't want you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sean. Yeah, you can be famous for a day, but you can be rich forever. You know what I mean? That's the mantra. So
You could
Very
buy
tactful.
fame. We could buy a football club.
we could. What
you
would
make-
you call it?
Well, you could have #United versus 442 meters apart. Arguably, they have more fans than us, but you know, we're like the Burnley of the Isthmian, whatever league they're in. That's all
Really,
that
really bad.
matters. Hey, come on! Let's not attack.
I
We
didn't
love
know
all
you. I didn't know you played round ball, Quickie.
I did, yeah, I used to a long time ago. Many moons ago, a few academies here and there. Goalkeeper, best goalkeeper in the Northwest at one point, according to my mum.
Well,
Mums are never wrong though. So
yeah, Mrs. Quick's a very wise lady.
Yeah, Susan's a legend, you know.
we should get her on next week. Does she support Everton?
Should definitely not get number one next week. That'd be awful.
So we've got one big important question for you.
Go on.
When Everton beat Liverpool, not when you personally beat Liverpool.
When
you beat Liverpool,
was a huge part of it.
when you beat Liverpool, I said it again. When Everton beat Liverpool, what did you do when that final whistle went?
I was actually on FaceTime with my dad. Because my dad was watching it at home up north, and I was watching it on Now TV, so it's a bit like obviously there are other streaming services out there in the world, but I was watching it on Now TV. I was like 30 seconds behind. I knew, and my dad was watching it. He FaceTime me. He was like, "The whistle's just gone." I'm like, "Dad, it's not gone yet. We haven't won yet." Even though in real life it had, but I was still 30 seconds behind. So it was a bit of a, yeah, it was mad. It was just, I couldn't believe it. I was like, was it 10 years or something we last beat them?
Yeah.
Oh, only Seamus Coleman, my boy. He was the last one to be there. You know, he's the legend of the
He's
club.
rejuvenated this year, hasn't he, Coleman?
Mate,
Like,
I don't get how he's not been like a. I'd never see him as like a Steven Gerrard kind of captain. You know,
Yeah.
he's not like on the field bossing people around that you can see obvious like Gerrard was, or your Rooney's, your Ronaldo's kind of thing. But after what game? It was a game last year, and we lost. Actually, it might have been early this year. We lost the game, and he came into the media and just said there needs to be a massive like change in the club. We've got a manager who won't deal with that kind of stuff. And after that, it kind of just went up and up, and he's been amazing. Like, even though he's not been in the squad, he's not been starting every game, but he comes on, he makes an impact. That's exactly what he did with Liverpool.
he's brilliant. I have to be honest with Coleman. He's one of these players that 60,000 he cost. It's just absolutely unbelievable. And over the years, I mean, I think he has been one of the most consistent fullbacks in the league. I know Ollie is a bit not sure on Seamus Coleman at times.
Well, I didn't particularly like him when he was trying to break Ashley Westwood's leg, but you know, I don't hold grudges, as we all know.
But he's just been.
I think he's decent. I think he's a very decent player. The thing is, though, it's hard to. He's like one of the players that your club admires, but sometimes doesn't get the plaudits because he's not like James Rodriguez, is he? He's not going to take away the headlines. But it's like someone like Ben Mee or it's probably Mason Mount for you, Dave. Like, they're never going to stand out, and they're never going to take away the. They're never going to get like this main star unless they score a stunner, which, let's be honest, they're probably not going to do.
Yeah, to be fair. The thing is, I actually Coleman though. Coleman like from the era of like the Leighton Baines. Like, it was Leighton Baines on the left, Coleman on the right. Because for years it was always Tony Hibbert. Do you know what I mean? I was actually at Tony Hibbert's testimonial. I was at
when
game,
he scored.
and he scored a free kick, and everyone just ran onto the pitch. Like you can't see if Hibber scores, we're on the pitch. If Hibber scores, we're on the pitch, and literally scored a free kick, and everyone like yes! And like the whole like 30,000 fans just ran all on the pitch. It was brilliant.
I love that.
Funny.
So you've got a huge manager now in Ancelotti. Obviously, he came in like towards the end of last season. Towards the end of last season, how much has it been? Has it been a different aura around the club since you've had this big manager? Because this is the biggest appointment Everton have probably ever made, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. Like I remember watching it with my mate Michael. He's an Arsenal fan, unfortunately, and I was watching the Everton Arsenal. Exactly. We were watching Everton Arsenal, and we were sat in my room, and I was like, I don't get it. I was like, what's up now? I was like, we're passing the ball like freely, and we're not like going back to the keeper every single time. Like we're going forward with the ball, and I think we beat them 2-0 something or 2-1. I was so happy. I was like a little kid at Christmas. Like, this is brilliant. Like, what do I do now? It's just like we're passing the ball forward. We're not going back to Pickford. I can't believe it. It's been brilliant. Like, what helped was the time in between with Duncan Ferguson.
Yeah,
I adore that man. Like, he was the first ever shirt that I got when I was younger. My uncle bought me an Everton shirt. Took us all into Liverpool, all the cousins. He bought me the Duncan Ferguson shirt. I didn't realise though he left the season before. But I didn't care. I still had it. I still have it to this day. It's at home in a box somewhere. But I love Big Duncan. When he was there for 3 or 4 games, we beat Chelsea. We went for I think it's 4 games under like a draw and 3 wins, and I was just that was like the fight we needed. Like, it's a bit like he understands the club. He knows what it's about. He understands the ethos, the fans, how they were when the David Moyes era when they were doing quite well.
Yeah.
And when Big Dunk was like, right, the Everton team didn't really care at the time. They're like, right, we're rubbish, weren't doing very well. We had Big Sam as a manager. I mean, yeah, great, he saved us, but he's not a top flight manager. I mean, he is top flight, like a relegation saver, should we say?
It should never have got to that point, should it?
No, it should never have gone Everton.
Yeah, and so Big Dunk was the big start of that, the start of the turnaround. And then when Ancelotti came, and obviously keeping Big Dunk as well was a massive impact.
It's like the weirdest friendship I've ever seen as well.
Oh yeah, it's like it shouldn't work, but it just does. And like,
it's a tough one in hindsight. But would you have? Obviously, we know now you've gone on to get Ancelotti, and he's doing a brilliant job, and I think you're genuinely serious top 4 contenders at the moment. But going back to the time when Duncan Ferguson was, in that interim and doing well, would you, without the hindsight of Ancelotti and what he's done, would you have given him the job?
No. Don't get me wrong, he did brilliant, but especially in top flight football, he's never really had proper manager experience. He's been a coach. He ran the team for a bit. He's been in the round for quite a lot. But I think he's one of those people who needs to be in the background yelling at the players kind of thing. And to have someone as the front-facing person to deal with everything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Don't get me wrong, I think eventually he will be able to manager. And he'll be like, I was going to take the Arteta to Guardiola, but Arteta's not doing great. So like, but that kind of impact, Ancelotti will pass on wisdom, if you want, and basically give that all to Big Dunk, and Big Dunk eventually will be our manager, I think. So I don't. After this, if we Everton that skyrocket, if we end up in top 4 like consistently for a few seasons with Ancelotti, I wouldn't say he'd retire at Everton, but I don't think he'd go to many other clubs after us. Do you know what I mean? Because we're a project for him. It's not like the man's got what, a million Champions Leagues, like Ligas, Premier League. He's got so much stuff under his belt,
Yeah.
and Everton's definitely the toughest club he's ever been at. Like his worst defeat run was, I think it was 3 games with, is it Inter? Inter?
Napoli. He was at Napoli.
There was another one, wasn't there? It might have been Napoli. But basically, the most he lost in a season was like 3 in a row, and then Everton he's done like 4 in a row, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's like ruined your record." And it's like, yeah, but he was at the top teams in Europe. We're not a mid-table club. We're kind of mid of the top half of the table, if that makes sense. Like, historically, but I just think he's the best. Like I said, Paul David, he's the best appointment we've ever made.
Do you find it hard, like seeing teams like Leicester win the league and other teams coming through? Whereas, like for years and years, it's always been, well, Everton are going to break through, and then all of a sudden, like there's a few dodgy finishes.
We've always been that team who's been like, we've always been the top half of the table team, haven't we? We've always been, Everton will finish 8th or 7th. That's always how it's always been. Sometimes
and every year it's like, oh, this is the year, it's going to happen.
Yeah, literally, it's like, oh well, we might get 5th this year. We might get 4th. Like last in Europe was it 2017-18, I think, or 16-17. We did awful.
Yeah,
that was a terrible year.
That's when Sam came in, wasn't it? It was when Ashley Williams was fighting with the was it Leon? Was it Leon fans he was fighting with?
Leon fans, yeah. God. we didn't even get the group stage. We lost like 3-0 or something to Leon, and then we got, I think it was 5-1 against the team who weren't the team who no one heard of. I was like, this is awful.
You almost went out in the qualifying round to that high kick split, didn't you, in Croatia?
Yeah. This is the anxiety that every Everton fan has. Like, even the other day when we were battering Liverpool all around the park, it was one of them. Were Everton really good or was Liverpool really bad? And it was a mix of both. We played a bad Liverpool team, but it's just a bit. Even 3 seconds before the final whistle went, I was like, I'm not holding my breath, because being an Everton fan, you got look at a few years ago, played Newcastle. We were winning 2-0 in like the 93rd minute, and we lost 3-2. How am I gonna show the kids in my future the score, and say we lost that game? I just don't understand it. That's what it's like being an Everton fan. It's an absolute chaotic lifestyle, but I love it.
What's the bizarre? Oh yeah, go on, Dave.
What's the obviously it's Champions League's the target, but I mean personally, I think you're just a few quality players away from just getting in there. I think if Ancelotti was to get one more year and bring in, a couple of extra quality, because you can see with the quality he's added this year, James Rodriguez. I think that Alan's been terrific for you.
Alan's incredible,
and it's just that little bit of quality I think that you're just needing. But do you think you can get Champions League this year? Do you think there's a genuine chance you can do it?
I think it'll be close. I'm going to take this right out of the social media handbook right now. I think it'll be close. There's a lot of look at West. I mean, they're doing incredible under David Moyes, and then you've got Leicester. I don't think Leicester will finish top 4.
You don't?
Just because of recent, they've not been. But that's the same with us. We play a few games really well, then it feels it drops. I don't think this year we'll get top 4, just because the likes of City, Man United. I think Arsenal might do, and obviously not doing. They've started off really bad. They're not doing great, but I think they will come up, and it'll be a really close battle from 7th to 5th for Europe. I think we'll get Europe at the least thing. I think we'll finish 6th.
Yeah,
but I think it's definitely possible. We will get it, and maybe not this year or maybe the year after. But it's a tough one because, like you said, Dan, we need quality. We need all this. We need all these brilliant players that, like your Rodriguez, your Allen.
And you've got to be playing at the top of your game every game, haven't you? It's not like Liverpool and City where they can sit back for a few games.
Yeah, look, obviously Liverpool have been hit by a lot of injuries this year. I saw something like 21 or 28 different partnerships in the centre back.
Yeah.
That's mad. That is pretty. That's like Sunday League kind of observations. You know what I mean? If we've got Dave and Tom next week, it's like Timmy and James. That's random guys. You know what I mean? So I do think we will get Champions League. Like at the moment, like West Ham are literally fourth right now. How is that? But this is like such a David Moyes kind of season. Do you know what I mean? He will do. He did it all the time with us. We finished top 6 for quite a few seasons. Then we plummet to like 12th. And then we finished 4th once, we got the Champions League, and then we plummeted again.
I do agree. I do agree with you, actually. I do agree with you.
It's a very typical David Moyes season. Do you know what I mean? Next year, he could like finish 3rd this year, but next year I wouldn't put it past him finish 15th. What currently where Burnley are, just a reminder, Ollie.
I'll take anything at this point.
I think the quality of the players, there's no one that I'd get rid of, but we need depth to it.
Yeah.
Like, we've now got Josh King coming in as like a number 2 for Calvert-Lewin.
He's going in there at the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. We've got a number 2, but then he's just
That's
like,
such a weird one. Surely it makes sense to put him on a 2-year contract.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought we'd do. And it just blew my mind that we just going through it for like 6 months, wasn't it? But yeah, then his contract might get extended. We don't know if he performs. I've not seen a massive energy from him when he comes on. He's good. He's good at chasing the ball down, but keeping hold of the ball isn't that great. So I think we need to add midfield. We're okay. Sigurdsson has improved a lot. I still stand by that he's one of the best purchases we've ever made. A lot of Everton fans will disagree with me on that one, but he's a strong midfielder. He's not a great defender. He's not the fastest player, but he can look at the goal we scored the other day when he put in Richarlison. That kind of Rodriguez did that exact same goal, exact same assist during the derby, and we did it the other day, playing against Southampton. So the quality is there, but it's the depth like City have, like United have, like Leicester have. They have the players to come in and just switch it around, whereas we don't. Ben Godfrey, he's been playing right back, centre back.
Yeah, I think he's been brilliant this season.
He's played really well.
He's been one of the best players. He's one of the best players we've had this season, and you can tell he's just an angry, angry big man who just wants to hurt people. I love it. It's like him and Holgate together, and it's like, oh well, no fighting today. Then. Like, you know what I mean?
He's someone who's really impressed me this season. Is Holgate? He's really impressed. I think he's had a few shaky games, but when you consider that he's been in and out, he's been in the team, then he's been out the team, then he's been on loan, then he's been back, then he's been. I think considering he's had all that the last few years, I think he's looked at points that there's definitely a player in there that can get to the level that you need for quality.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, okay, you're probably gonna guess who I'm gonna say right now. The one player I worry about is Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, that's what I was going to be asked. What? Like, there's one thing like being an England fan and not being an Everton fan and having your views on Pickford, but I literally cannot imagine what it's like to have to wake up and think, well, our starting 11's going to be fucked from the first person I read off the list.
Oh, God. I mean, in the past few games, he's been excellent. He kept us in the Southampton game of the day. Like, he earned us that win from the save in the last second of the game or something. That was a brilliant save. But what's happened now is that when he makes these saves, everyone's like, yeah, that's the Pickford we know. That's great, but that's his job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't mean, as a goalkeeper, I've never played that high level because they wouldn't want me. But you have a job, and that's to save the ball from going inside of the net. And every time he gets the ball, there's always a bit of doubt in me. There's a mistake here. There's a mistake inside of him somewhere. And it's always a big game when it happens. Like Liverpool.
Do you think as well with Pickford, and me and Ollie have said this so many times, with Pickford, there is a good, this is what frustrates me, there is a good goalkeeper in there. There is a really good goalkeeper in there. But me and Ollie have ranted and raved about Pickford, not for his ability, but for his attitude. Do you think that's what's separating him from being a good quality goalkeeper to being, absolute rubbish. Do you think it's his attitude? Because I've seen Pickford, make a mistake, and instead of going, right, let's get the game going, he'll hold the ball, stick out his tongue, and go, "Oh, that was a bit close, wasn't it?" That's the last thing I'd want to see from my goalkeeper if I was a defender.
Yeah, true. I think he's a very serious person when it comes to being in goal. You can see it. He gets angry and shouts at defence, and that's what defenders need. And what a team needs. You need a goalkeeper who's loud. Like when I used to play, I was literally I wouldn't stop talking. I'd tell everyone where they are, who's where. But yeah, he's just. I think when he plays for England, he's brilliant. You look at that World Cup, and that World Cup isn't even our team now is probably stronger than the World Cup team, but it's in that World Cup he performed phenomenally. He's brilliant for England. He's an amazing shot stopper, but for Everton, it's the little things that let him down. Like when we lost 1-0, was it a few years ago against Liverpool? Origi came on and he went to palm it over the bar, but it messed up and then they scored. Yeah. And then you've got the Van Dijk incident, and that obviously I can imagine everyone in the Premier League, half Premier League went, "That's really funny." Half Premier League went, "Oh, I'll get rid of him." I genuinely believe he wasn't going to hurt Van Dijk. He went in to get the ball. I know he was 7 foot off the air, but as a goalkeeper, you're told to go out, rush out, and throw your body out. And you're told doesn't matter who's there. You just go out, all arms flailing, legs everywhere, and try and stop the ball from getting in the box, no matter how you do it. And in that instance, that was a horrible incident and did obviously hurt Van Dijk. And I don't think he meant to do that.
No, I don't.
No, of course not.
But he was. It's a tricky one. Some days he'll play excellent, like he did the other day. Some days it's that one mistake, but people always remember that one mistake. They remember the bad things, good things. If
you had the choice to get rid of him, if you were if you owned Everton, so comes transfer window, is he on? If someone comes in, we'll give you 45 million for him, we'd take it.
Depends who I get in return.
Well, that's the thing. You've got that 45 million to spend.
I'll tell you who I'd buy if we did get rid of him. It depends how well he's playing at the moment and who's interested in him.
But do you not just... I always think, though, for every good game he's had, how many big moments has he fucked up for you? How many games, how many points have you lost because of him? There's one thing making a mistake, but losing points in really, really big games, games you should win or get a point from.
Yeah, I think it was a Fulham game when he bounced.
Can I just say? I was going to say actually, I thought you had no chance against Liverpool because I thought the whole team's attitude was awful against Fulham. You were 2-0 down in the 80-something minute. You had a corner, and Michael Keane and Holgate just having a laugh and walking up to the corner. I'm like, come on, you should be running. I can't believe you turned it around. You looked a bit better against City. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, it's with the Fulham game, that was just a mess, an absolute shambles. We should have won that. It's those kind of games that won't get us to the top four. Yeah. So, I mean, City, they're on form. If you beat City, fair play. You must have worked your arse off to beat City.
Yeah. We played a lot better though in that game against City.
Yeah, I think we controlled the game. We controlled the game, but we controlled how Everton played. Everton controlled how they played, and that wasn't City controlling Everton. If that makes sense. But like we said before, City just have amazing players, and they had the money to do it, and that's where Everton aren't as fortunate as the likes of City, Leicester, Liverpool, Tottenham. They all got the money quite early, and they got maybe not so much Leicester, but everyone else got the money, and all the money invested really early. When City first came up, with the Robinhos and all that lot, they were seen as the reject team. Do you know what I mean? All the rejects were going to City, and I look at that because at the time, I remember when Yaya Toure went over in Cola, they were like, "Oh, it's just the rejects, throw them to City." Robinho, he's a Brazilian reject from. So look what they did. Do you know what I mean? They're now one of the best teams in the country, and that's what we never had. We never had the money to do it. Our biggest, I remember. I was watching Sky Sports News Deadline Day or something, and our biggest signing was Fellaini, 15 million from Standard Liège. And I was like buzzing with that. And then you look somewhere else, and someone else is going to another club for like 70 million. It's like, why don't we have this money? But I think what's happened now with Mauricio, our new like majority shareholder, he's invested in Marcel Brands, who's talking to all the agents, all the players. Like James Rodriguez is at Everton, Ancelotti at Everton.
It's incredible. It's an incredible signing, that one.
I still sometimes look at the team and I'm like, how are you on my team? What made you want to come to Everton?
So I said the same about Dale Stevens.
But I think as well with Everton, I think I don't necessarily think I think your recruitment's been poor in terms of some of the players that you have brought in the past. But I think it's just your management recruitment, I think, has been something that I think until now you've got Ancelotti, and that's like, I don't think anyone in their wildest dreams would have ever said Ancelotti would go to Everton. But I think you sort of went on the hype of Marco Silva 100%. I think that was sort of like, I think everyone, I don't know why everyone felt like this way, but the whole media and the whole world sort of went, Marco Silva is going to be amazing.
Dave, I'll never forget before Marco Silva became Everton manager, us and Watford were battling for that Europa League spot, and it was like quite early in the season still. Everyone was going, Marco Silva is the best manager in the world. He is unbelievable. And then we completely stuffed Watford and knocked them out of the park. And then Watford didn't win another bloody game until he left. And this whole time they were going, well, Marco Silva, it's all Watford. It's all Troy Deeney's fault. It's not Marco Silva's fault.
Yeah, I know.
I couldn't believe Everton signed him after that.
With Marco Silva, like he brought us Richarlison. I'll give him that. I do have a few opinions on Richarlison. I'll get to them in a minute.
Yeah, we've spoken about it, haven't we?
Yeah. And I think when he was with us from what was it, May 2018 to December 2019, that's how long he was with us. And he won 24 games, but he also lost 24 games.
Yeah.
And it's just a bit like, I just don't understand it. But
There's just no progress, is there?
Yeah, he had one good season. His first season, we played really well. I'll give him that. And then the start of the second season, the 2019-20 season, it just went downhill. Like, he just wasn't that great.
I feel like he knows football. I feel like he understands football and he's really good at it. But I think he just doesn't understand the fundamentals of it, like how to defend, which is quite big. I think. I don't know what about you guys think.
Team. Our attack was brilliant. We were an attacking team. We were going forward, but our defence was just terrible, especially in the second season. The beginning of the second season was just leaking goals left, right, and centre. I just think he was good. I think he was good fit for the club at the time of what we needed. Because when you think of Everton, you think of the David Moyes era. Yeah. Everyone thinks of what the 11, 12 years he was there, what he did for the club. It wasn't amazing. Didn't win any trophies. But
got you into Champions League though for the first time.
Champions League, got us to the Europa League. We were consistent. And when he went to United,
Cup final as well.
Yeah, Cup finals. We got to places. Unfortunately, I didn't win. I remember watching the Chelsea and Everton FA Cup final when Lewis Hart got the fastest ever goal. And I was buzzing. And then when Lampard scored the winner, I think it was Lampard.
Yeah, it was Lampard. Yeah.
And we had like a massive TV, a big TV in the garden. It was really sunny. I had all the family around, and Lampard scored that goal. I turned the TV off and went to my room.
I'll tell you a really funny. I'll tell you a really funny story about that day, because I was watching that, because obviously I'm Chelsea, and I was watching that game with my dad, and the game kicked off, and my dad got out his chair and he was like, "Oh, we'll watch the first bloody bit of this. He's just be passing the ball around." And he walked back in the room after Zaha had scored and went, "Oh, bloody hell, what, Mr. Bloody Carlton?" He's like, "Who scores in 25 seconds of the FA Cup final?"
That is brilliant. That's so funny. But that's sorry. Like I said, we had a good time with Moyes. He kept us consistent. We had a few downs, but I mean, what the club doesn't. When he left, that's when it kind of went, "Oh, what's going to happen to Everton?" And that's when it's been it's like Liverpool had that shaky few seasons when they weren't doing great. They weren't in the top four. They weren't even in Europa. They were not doing great. And then Klopp turned up, and put them where they are now. I mean, granted, this season they're not doing the best, but like I said before, they've been struck with so many, which I'm hoping is going to be what Ancelotti's doing with us now. So I don't think, like I said before, I don't think we get Champions League this year. Europa, I think we will do. I think it'll be us and Tottenham or us and Liverpool. I'll be surprised.
Everton and Liverpool in the Europa League. That would be fun.
Imagine that for a final.
That'd be insane.
I'd love it. And then if they got knocked out and we went through, that means we're better than Liverpool. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think Ancelotti said the other day that he wants to be around when the new stadium's being built.
Oh, it looks lovely, doesn't it?
Oh. What I'm just thinking is, it's right next to the Mersey. It's literally on the docks.
You could just throw Jurgen into the water.
Well, that's one thing. Another thing is you're going to get some pretty pissed Everton fans, and they'll just jump in.
Do you feel though? And obviously it's very exciting getting a new stadium, but do you feel? And I'm not saying this will happen, but is there a little worry in your head that you could lose? You know, you've seen over the years. You know, Arsenal, they move stadium, they lose a bit of their soul. West Ham move stadium. You know, they've lost a bit of something about their club. You could even say maybe even Tottenham. You could even throw into that argument as well. They've lost a little bit of what makes them Tottenham.
Tottenham have awful fans.
Is it? is there a little bit of, even though it's really exciting, is there a little bit of worry that you might lose your Evertonian-ness, if you know what I mean?
I think so. Like, there's always that doubt. Like, obviously, Goodison Park is one of the oldest grounds in the stadium. One of the oldest grounds in the country. Like Old Trafford and stuff, and Anfield. Obviously, Anfield was Everton's home originally.
Yeah,
we were there from like 78 till I think it was just 79 actually, or 82 maybe, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with Everton fans, they're the reason. Them not being in the stadium at the moment are the reason we've only won one game this year at home, and that was on Monday night. That was the first game we've won this year at home.
Mm-hmm.
That's mental to think that.
Yeah, and same with Liverpool. Liverpool haven't won a game at all at home this year.
No, it's mad.
I know who the first team to win that was.
Was it Blackburn?
I wonder. I've never heard of that team. Also, sorry, I just want to say, because I can't find the person who decided to sign my email up to Blackburn Rovers shop and all that. I got home the other day and I just had so many emails from different Blackburn sites. Whoever it is, you bloody own up.
That's so funny. I love it.
Actually, I'm probably sure it's not me, Ollie. I wish I'd thought of that, to be honest.
Yes,
I don't even trust anyone now.
I can't believe it.
So I logged into the account that was there. Well, not logged in, like I got the email. So I clicked on the link and it sent me to all these like Bradley Dack jerseys. I'm like, I don't want one of those.
Did Savage used to play for him?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that sums it up. If Robbie Savage plays for your team.
You know you've got problems.
I just can't. It's just it's one of those players I was never like. I was like, you're so like you.
Actually, I was listening to him on 5 Live or whatever he does, and he was saying that he was on a night out after an award ceremony. Apparently, this guy got hit by a car in the street, and he was fine, absolutely fine. He was just a bit concussed. Apparently, he opened his eyes. Robbie Savage went running over to see if he was okay, and he went, "Oh, I can't be in heaven if Robbie bloody Savage is here."
That's the last thing you'd want to see after you've been in an accident is Robbie Savage going,
"You'd wish the car hit you harder."
Oh yeah, lead to the job, lads.
Oh dear. Actually, Andrew, I want to ask you something.
It's so weird calling you Andrew.
I know, Andrew.
Like what?
If someone was to hold, just a standard Everton jersey up, which player do you think of? Like, who is Mr. Everton to you?
It's got to be Joe.
Ooh. Who?
Joe.
No. I don't know. That's a tough one, that. Wow, that's really got me that.
Right, hold on, Dave. Dave, who do you
probably-
think? Who do you think for Chelsea?
Yeah.
I was actually going to tell you I was actually going to say my one of my favourite Everton players. Do you know,
Go
like
on.
someone I really, I don't think he was particularly anything amazing, but I used to actually really like him and like his ability. Leon Osman.
Yeah. To be fair,
I really like Leon Osman.
he's
I
one good man.
think he was one player that I don't necessarily think he was good enough for England, but I certainly think he should have been more in the conversation when he was playing than he was. More in the conversation than he was.
Yeah. Thing is, he was around. He was like the. I'm not comparing to Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes was one of the best centre midfielders that this world has ever seen, but he was around that era with like the Scholes, Lampard, the Gerrard, the Giggs, and they were like the stars of the show.
Yeah, of
And
course.
Leon Osman just went around to his job. Didn't really want to share the limelight that much. They can be the poster boys and he'll just do his job.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I've got to say, it'll probably be Big Dunk.
Yeah,
of course.
has to be, doesn't it?
His little Everton 9 tattoo on his shoulder. I love it. And his little set bands. He's got to be just a Everton through and through.
Has to be, doesn't it? Has to be done.
Yeah. But he's not my favorite player though. My favorite player.
Who's your favourite?
Tim Howard. I love that man.
Tim Howard.
I love Tim. He's the reason I want to be a goalkeeper.
And he scored a goal.
And he's got against Bolton. It was like really windy. Went ahead 1-0, then lost 2-1.
Oh, that must be gutting. You score a goal and you still lose as a goalkeeper.
Oh god! But like I said before, you expect it with Everton. We can win. We can be winning 7-0, and I'll still think we're going to lose. That's what it's like being an Everton fan. You just got to wait until even after the final whistle, you're questioning it. Did that actually happen?
Do you find it mad that you're in your 20s and you still not won a trophy in your lifetime?
It breaks my heart every day.
Because every year, I just think, a couple of years, Everton could win an FA Cup. And we sit here, Everton could still win an FA Cup, but they haven't.
Yeah, we're always the one, and especially in the FA Cup, because we have got a good history in the FA Cup. But the last time we won it was 95. That was a picture of my dad holding my big brother.
I was going to say holding the FA Cup. I was like, my dad captained Everton.
yeah.
I met your dad. I don't remember him lifting. I don't remember him telling me about playing for Everton.
Lifting the cup. There's a picture of like my dad and my brother, and my dad's in the lifting his arms up and just won the FA Cup. My brother's like, "What the hell's going on?" It's like 3 months old. Like, what the fuck is this? What is going on? We're always that team who's they could do well. They can get to the quarterfinals.
I think every year everyone goes, "Oh, who do you think's going to win the FA Cup?" Well, it could be Everton. I think Everton will go. And then realistically, it's going to be City, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think this year we're doing it the hard way. Like we've got with the Tottenham game. Oh my god, that game gave me so much anxiety.
Like, that game was FIFA.
1-0, 2-0. Yeah, literally, it was, wasn't it? And then
I'd rather do that than being 1-0 down to MK Dons for 70 minutes.
Well, I'm here moaning about being an Everton fan and how tough that is. You must have a heart attack every game.
Mate, you talk about, mate, like doubting yourself every game. Fuck me, it is painful. But to be fair, though,
I do like Burnley.
Someone has to, doesn't it? Do you know, I had a job interview the other day, and the guy went, because obviously it's all on Zoom, and I have like a signed Burnley shirt behind me, and he went, who do you support? I went, I support Burnley. He went, well, that must be half of the fans. So I was like, oh, cheers, mate.
What a dick. Did you get a job though?
I'm still waiting. Do you know what, Rob? If you're listening, I love you, mate. Listen to me.
Yeah, Rob, give my mate a job, please. He's a really good.
We'll get you on, Rob. He was a Man United fan, so we need someone for Man United.
Yeah, we do. We haven't got any United.
I've just basically fucked any chance of getting a job.
But if you want to come and talk about Man United, you're more than welcome, Rob.
Okay, quickie.
Yo.
You are the Everton board for this summer. Which
I thought it was just a statement.
Quickie, you got the job.
Yes.
Which three players, or which players in positions, do you go and get to not just challenge for the top four, to get top 4 next season?
Get top 4. Messi, Ronaldo.
Maradona, Pele.
Pele. Get a Dixie Dean back. He's the best player Everton ever had. Okay. So probably. Oh, I know he's old, but I would take Sergio Ramos.
Yeah.
Because I just think he's just an angry bastard, isn't he? And he just wants to fight. Imagine him and Godfrey playing together. They just kill people. It'd be great. Like, never mind Van Dijk. We've got Ramos and Godfrey. All right, yes, Ramos in defence. Haaland up top. Oh, that's got to be one. I'd definitely have Erling Haaland up top. And then I want to say a midfielder to work with Rodriguez. Maybe Isco.
Yeah, I think Isco would be quite a good little signing.
Oh, to Isco, you know. Because like, I think him and Rodriguez work well together, obviously from the Real Madrid days as well. And I think those 3 additions, we need a strong, angry defender. Like we've got, like I said before, we've got Holgate and Godfrey, but we need someone with experience of winning championship or winning.
You got Keno, one of my favourite players.
To be fair, Keane he's stepped up this year. He's been sick.
Yeah, I agree. I think he should start for England.
We used to call him Goal Machine Keane, and now we're seeing it again a bit. Granted, it was in the championship, but still.
You know. I saw the other day actually. Well, this morning we're looking at Dybala.
Oh
yeah, he wants to go, doesn't he?
Yeah, we've been looking at him. Obviously, Moise Keane's going to stay here.
Yeah, but that's like Burnley saying, "Oh, we're looking at Zlatan. We're looking at him. He don't want to come." We started a chat. We asked if he wanted to come. We were having talks, and he said no.
we wouldn't put a trophy. Oh, he's annoying.
Zlatan, do you want to come to Burnley? No. That's talks.
No, Olly, you have to wait till he's 54. Then you can put a free transfer bid in.
Mate, we have to wait until he's had his season at Stoke.
Peter Crouch comes out of retirement to play with Zlatan. I mean, Zlatan's just annoying me at the moment. Like, he's just now acting like he owns the world. Do you know what I mean? The way he talks to so many players. And it's like, mate, just go on me football.
Do you know? I see that in Erling Haaland though as well. I see a lot of Zlatan.
The arrogance,
personality. But at the moment, because he's so young, it's quite endearing. Like you just want to pinch his cheeks and be like, "Oh, that's cute, Erling." Yeah. Whereas Zlatan, you just you don't really want to do that.
Punch you in the face.
It would. I do think that Ancelotti would help out with Haaland a lot. That would be a good partnership. Imagine
the only thing I worried, if you ever got Haaland, I just think it's the same thing at Dortmund at the moment. Like I feel like he's taking Dortmund up to the next level, but I don't think Dortmund are taking him up to the next level. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
What you need though, you need that kind of player. And then that you always build people. Well, people do build their squads, or managers build their squads around players. So we'll build our squad around Michael Keane, Rodriguez, Campbell, and Richarlison. Do you know what I mean? And then we'll add to who benefit there. Like Tom Davis recently has been insane. He's been so good. And how can you now pick? Obviously, Alan. I think a lot of the top flight teams, like United, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, they've all missed out on. He could do brilliant at any of those clubs.
He had like the best passing rate in England, in Europe last season, didn't he?
Yeah, literally. I think he could go to any club and be the best player there.
Yeah, he's a really good player.
Yeah. Imagine him at Burnley. You might win the league.
I don't know. Try and get in over Jack Cork. It might be hard.
No.
So we always ask our new guests, like, what is the moment that got you into football? It doesn't have to be an Everton one even. But what did you go to? Yeah, fair enough. I do like football.
I don't know. I've always loved sport. obviously you both know, as of recent years, it's been more rugby. So not on a football.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
But I don't know, I've always loved it. Like my family support Everton. I started playing when I was really young. The first time I was never the best outfield player. I was either left wing or striker or left back. It's varied because I was quite tall. And I used to be quite quick. But then I went in goal one day in training session. I was like, "Oh, Andrew, go and goal for a bit." I was like, "All right, fine, give me the gloves." And it was like one of the best sessions I ever had in my life. I said to the coach, "Please don't put me in goal on Saturday." And then I started goal, and I was like 11 years old, or 10 years old. And I was like, literally, I loved it. And then probably since then, from about my first being in goal, and that's when I got the captaincy of my club as well. That was quite nice.
I've got a question for both of you. If you had to describe yourself, so when I assume we all played football as kids, right? Like for teams. What if you had to describe yourself as like a current player now of how you played? Who would you go for?
An absolute legend.
So if I was so bad. Like you both know I can barely run anywhere. I class myself as like Giroud. Like I'll do nothing for the whole game. You need a goal, I'll just fucking nod it in. I've got you.
As well. That's like Fellaini.
There's someone in Belgium asking Fellaini the same question. No, China. Is he in China? In China. They're doing. I don't know what 4-4-2 in Chinese is, but they're doing it right now.
They're smashing it. I don't know. Part of me wants to say Jordan Pickford because I have been known to make the odd mistake in goal.
Oh, quickie, come on, you're not that bad.
Exactly, but I've always covered it though. I've always played well.
Oh my god, Andrew Quickford. Well, I've got the title of this podcast already done.
Yeah, you've done that now.
Probably Peter Schmeichel.
Yeah,
that's a good choice.
Monster.
I love him. I'm happy to have him at Everton. Like, I'll drive him to Goodison if I need to.
I think I already know David's one.
Really?
Kevin Long, isn't there? I bet you're Kevin Long.
Kevin Long. Do you know what? Like, a lot of people have this perception of me that I'm like a bit laid back, a bit chill, a bit calm. But
I lived with you for 3 years. I know you're not.
You know I'm not that. So when I cross that, and I'll quick you, and we'll know this as well. Your personality goes out. Your personality goes out the window when you cross that white line. You know, in any sport. And I turn into, this crazy. I'm not saying I'm the hardest bloke in the world, but I'm quite hardcore on the pitch. Like I will throw in a tackle. I will wind up the strikers. Like, you do. You know all the little tricks. When they're on the floor and you pick them up and you pinch their fingers as you pull them up, and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And you're like, "Oh, just picking him up, Rev. Just picking him up." I have all the tricks, all the little comments. So I know exactly how to wind up a centre forward. So for that, even though he's not a defender, I'll go Diego Costa because he was just a wind up, wasn't he?
You look like him, to be fair. You have that similar.
Oh, thanks.
I agree with that though. When I was in uni, I was playing rugby, and like once you go on the pitch, you're different. It's a different world. And I had like mates come up to me who didn't watch play rugby before, and they see me playing rugby. He was one of them. Sam, he was president of the football team of David United, and he'd be shouting on the side like, "God, can you go on quickly? I'll tackle someone." And Huss never watched me play rugby before. I was like, "Oh, I didn't know Quicky could do that. Why is he so mean? What's he doing? Why is he hurting him?" Like all this shit. And it's like shouting that kind of stuff, and it's like it's a different mentality. And you come off, you're like,
completely different.
"Right, mate, how you doing?" Yeah.
It's like because you go from like the start because I play on just Sunday League now. I've signed up for a football team, and
Dave, it's never just Sunday League.
It's never. It's not.
When you lift the trophy, I'm handing you the trophy.
I'll skipper Summerfield. But it's that you have that banter with your your teammates like when you're warming up, and they're then literally as soon as that whistle goes, you know, you're like shout like if someone makes a mistake, you know, I'm literally like the only person that I don't chat back to is my goalkeeper, and Quickie will know this because your keeper,
Yeah,
your keeper has just free reign to just give you as much shit as possible. Like you make a mistake, your keeper is, especially the keeper I play with. Oh my days! Like I wouldn't want to get. He's a really nice guy as well, but you wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him if you mess
I'm
up.
like, when I play, I was like, I will not shut up. I'm like, right, he's over there, that person's over there. Watch your back. Obviously, I can see everything, and I will shout until from the first second to the final whistle. I'll be talking, and it also puts off the other team because I'll just wind them up at the penalty, and just random shit. Just being some of them is weird, which I can't repeat. I just can't say on the podcast, but some just like, oh, I missed you. Where have you been? And stuff like that. What? What do you mean? And it's like, that little thing. Oh, I'm glad you're here with me. And it's like, what? And they get so wound up, and it's like, you get in their head. And that's what you do in rugby as well. You get in the opposition's head, and then they'll lose it. So once they've lost like the grip of the game, they've got no control. Oh, the Everton team is up for tonight's game against West Brom. I'm not about it.
Go on, read it out.
We come out on Friday. We come out on Friday, so either congratulations to Everton or commiserations.
Okay, in goal, we have number 1. Right back, Godfrey. Centre back, Keenan Holgate. Left back, holding midfield, Decore and Andre Gomez. Attacking 3, Iwobi, Bernard, and Richarlison with Calvert-Lewin up top.
Yeah.
No Rodriguez or Sigurdsson. I don't know, because I think I saw something before, and it's like West Brom haven't beat us at home. Haven't beat us like the last 15 games, something like that.
This is the season; it's all kicking off, isn't it? Like all these records are being broken.
Is Sam coming back as well?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think they'll roll out the red carpet for him? We'll pray to him as he walks through. Oh, Sam, you're back. Big Sam, we love you.
Yeah, Maitland-Niles is starting for West Brom.
Well, according to Arsenal, best player in the world.
I like Maitland-Niles, I think he's a decent little player.
He's all right, but I mean, when you have a good performance in the Community Shield, that means you're the best player in the world, as we know.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. So I wouldn't even know what the Community Shield like, so it's fine.
He just reminds me a bit of Kieran Gibbs, Maitland-Niles. I think he's being talked up at a big club, and then he'll go to a little club and he'll just settle his way there, and then he'll just float around there. I see a lot of that with these youngsters that come through.
Yeah. Well, Alan's on the bench actually as well. Alan and Sigurdsson on the bench. Interesting.
Right.
No shame.
And another one thing we're doing with all our guests is asking them. So, out of all the current Premier League managers, who would you class as the top 3 sexiest?
Top 3 sexiest. Ooh.
As in looks. We're talking full-on looks. Don't bring the football side into this.
No personality. That's boring.
And when we're talking looks, we're talking about their pitch side wear, not their everyday wear.
Oh, okay. Maybe it is their everyday wear. You never know.
Well, I don't mind people crossing over, but I need professionalism when making a decision on this.
That is a tough one, actually. Jurgen Klopp has to be there. He's a pretty man.
Okay, is that where you're putting him? You have to put them in order. Top 3.
Interesting. Okay. Right, Pep Guardiola is top.
Blimey.
He's just a stylish man. Actually, that's tough, Because there's also David Moyes. He's like a raw sex appeal, isn't he? All right, Jurgen Klopp. He can be second. We'll put Pep Guardiola first, and just for you, Olly, I'll put Sean Dyche third.
Oh, well, you're a brave soul.
No one thinks Stuart Parker is the sexiest manager.
I know, everyone.
Sexy, to be fair.
He got voted the sexiest manager in the Premier League. I'm never going to let this go. Do you know what? It could be 2035, and he's now Charlton manager in the National League, and I'll be like, Scott Parker in 2021 was voted the sexiest manager in the Premier League. That's going to be his hit legacy. I'm sorry, I think he's doing it right. But
yeah, but the thing is, that Scott Parker doesn't age. Like Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd still looks 25. Do you know what I mean? It's just a bit crazy.
he's a bit like Sean Dyche for the opposite way round. He's looked about 41 for the last 25 years.
Oh, I love him. I think he's so funny. He's one of the funniest managers, Sean Dyche. I love him.
I
wouldn't want
love
Everton,
him. I got a
but-
scarf with his face on. I think I look at it every night before I go to bed.
And you got a mug with his face on.
I got a mug. David got me a mug with a picture of him holding a picture of my my name on a shirt for my birthday 2 years ago. And I drink out of it every day. I pray to it before games.
Dear Lord Shaw.
Well, don't say that's my dad's name as well.
Oh God, what have you said to? Oh God.
Well, that's it. So we've worked out that you love Pickford. Your name is basically Pickford. You love Sean Dyche. You have a weird love for Pep Guardiola and his face. And Scott Parker is not Scott Parker is sexy, but not the sexiest. I think that's what we can go with. I think you'd almost settle for Scott Parker. You'd be like, yeah, definitely. But if there was another choice, I think you'd take.
That's around. Yeah. What a keep out.
You see him on a night out, and you're like, yeah, all right, sure.
I reckon he's a great laugh on a night out.
He loves the pub, doesn't he?
Yeah. I just imagine him being in West 5. It's like with his shirt with no tie.
I can just imagine him leaning on. I can't imagine him in a pub besides leaning on their bar, just buying everyone a drink. It's like everyone's like queuing to get a drink from Scott.
Oh my God!
Do you remember when? Oh God! I saw this. I was going through my photos on my phone before, and I saw this video of David on there when we were in West 5, and it was when it was the remember like the runway was down the middle, that little, before it got renovated, and I was just videoing you, and then you were dancing away, and you just clocked me and went, "Oh my God!" Like drinks everywhere, hitting people out the way. I was like, I love it.
He's a modern day Scott Parker.
That is me. Oh, I miss those moments, Quickie. We'll have them back soon.
I know, I can't wait. It's been a mad year and a half. Or year and a bit.
But without this pandemic, we wouldn't be here right now because me and David wouldn't have started this podcast.
Yeah,
we'd have to come up with another really crappy name that wasn't pandemic related. We always say that in 10 years' time, when we're rich and famous from the podcast, no one's going to know what 442 meters apart means. No, there's not going to be no 2 meters apart.
Yeah, what is that 2 meters apart? And if when our kids mention it to us, it'll be like PTSD. We'll start crying. We'll hide in our bed with our Sean Dyche mugs and scarf, and like shaking.
All praying to my dad.
My days.
But Quickie, it's been so nice to have you.
Oh, Quickie,
it's so great to hear your voice.
Yeah, mate, it's been a long time, hasn't it? I loved it. If they want me again, let me know.
Oh, Quickie, yeah, you'll definitely be back on. You'll definitely be back on, mate.
And we want to thank everyone for listening. But the one thing we like to do is give our guests the last goodbye. So I'm going to say goodbye.
I'll say goodbye.
I thought you weren't going to do it then. I was like, that's what
I've got a little thing there, quick.
Go.
I'm doing 100 press-ups every single day for the whole of March for charity. Go on my Instagram, Andrew J. Quick. Sponsor me. Thanks. Love you. Bye.
Oh, brilliant.
I'll put it in the description.
Legend.
All right. Go on. You've got to say bye. We're not going until you say goodbye.
I said love you. Bye.
Oh, say it again so everyone can hear you.
Stay safe. Be good. Goodbye.